Um, so after 6.5 hour ride, changing from Shaolin to Quanzhou and then Quanzhou to Anxi, Anxi then finally Changkeng. I'm now at Changkeng, which is the one of the biggest area for Guan Yin. But these are all villages, so within like 10 minutes walk, you can go from villages to villages. And I'm here with three very curious ladies. They are just called for a job. They're needed for basically somebody has a batch of machine cut tea leaves that needs to be handpicked. So the ones that machine could not tell if it's good leaves or not leaves can be left out. And I just want to take a quick shot, see how foggy it is. The mountains far away. By the way, they've been talking about me all the way, and then I don't really understand what they're talking about because we speak different dialects, and this is a very rural area. Most of the places I've been to, even though they have their local dialect, they all speak Mandarin, but they one of the ladies speak a little bit, the other two don't. So this is the job they're called for. What they're doing is they're collecting. Let me turn on the light. They're collecting the machine cut tea leaves, and they want to make sure that the leaf side is all leveled, and then they cut the stem. So all the ones that with longer stem, the machine could not tell, are picked out. They're super fast, so they already finished a batch, and now they're starting another one. And over here, actually the already fermented tea goes in here, and this machine actually gets pressed down, and then they put it into that thing, which also they use to cook the tea leaves. They repeat this process, and once it's finished, now on the small one, those are the tea dusts. And they'll mix it with the finished ones. Now what we see in these things, as you can see, they look very familiar, but these ones are made with bamboos. This is a very important process in the making of Guan Yin. Here's a lady just came in with some vegetables, because I mean it's also important in making clove tea, but this is a vital process in making Guan Yin. They don't heat it; they just roll it. Basically, it's through this process that gives that you can control some of the fermentation level of the tea leaves, and also let the flavor come out from the outside from the inside. I mean, it also happens when you roll the tea, but this is also very important. Now, instead of rolling the tea, they press it. Actually, the inside are a lot of work. Since you come out, you can see it actually takes a different shape. Now it goes into this machine. There it is. They have a they have a visitor again with a child, so I had to trip. So it goes into this machine to break it. They repeat this process until it kind of takes a what they call a half ball shape. Yes, it does involve the. Well, in the old times, the process of where you roll the tea or you're making shape of the tea is all happens with feet. By the way, in villages, particularly this village, even last time, it seems like everybody always visit everybody. Not just that everybody knows everybody, but everybody visits everybody every single day. They constantly have visitors. Let's take a look at over here. So they repeat the process, so they let it spin It takes several minutes, and then after that, they let the tea ferment again. It's also a repeating process. Depends on what fermentation level you want your tea to be. There are many. So basically, there are many fermentation levels that can be customized, and it can take from a day to 2 days. By the way, it looks very easy that they shake the tea until all the leaves expand. It is actually pretty hard. Since it's a tea making season, a lot of young kids come back to help the parents making tea. Where I'm staying, Uncle Chen, which was one of my favorite person on my last trip, he rented all the tea fields to other people because none of his kids wants to help him and he couldn't handle all the work himself. So instead, he's making honey now. By the way, they repeat this process about 3 times for this batch. Here they're starting another batch. Now, this room smells amazing. By the way, it used to be really dark here. So this is a temperature-controlled room. This is where the tea ferments. With tea Guan Yin, even the lightest fermented, it takes about where's the light? Okay, it takes about 18 hours. Most of the time, it's 24 hours on. Sometimes it's 48 hours. And after fermentation, next step is where they cook the tea. And the farmers told me that the tea leaves will feel smoother and smoother as it ferments. Of course, I cannot tell. So obviously, some of these came in here earlier than the other ones. What they do is they let it sit here for 2 hours first, and then they spin it 3 times. So they do it every 2 hours. So that's 6 hours, and then they let it sit. So that machine over there is the baking machine. Each one of these is about 15 kilos of the tea leaf, fresh tea leaves. And they usually put around 3 to 3.5 or 4 of these into one batch of making tea. I mean, not in this step, but when they're cooking the tea in this one. And after that, the yield is about 6-1 for Guan Yin. The yield is much lower when the tea leaves is too fresh because all the sprouts, the buzz gets broken during the process and becomes tea dust. So that's why people actually prefer, in the oolong making, all oolong making, people always prefer to have tea leaves that's a little older, but it can't be too old because if it's too old, then there won't be flavors and it's gonna all be bitter and stuff. So the standard would be 3 leaves. It's very similar to cliff tea. But for tea Guan Yin, you can see some of them, there are a lot of leaves growing on there, and this is good. Okay, so that was not, but what I want to demonstrate is that if you have many leaves growing on one stem, it's actually a very good one. And this village only makes the new traditional kind. Certain villages make certain kinds of tea too. And so these are 2 sons of that young gentleman over there. They all married really early in this region of China. Even in the States, if they are descendants of this region, they all marry really early. And the process where they make the shape of tea and then break them down and then remake the shape and then break them down, that process takes it takes around 20 times. Depends on each batch is all different, but maybe like 15 to 25 times around that. So it's a repeating process. So this son here is baking the tea. As you can see, they don't bake it in the same kind of process with the Taiwan Oolong or the cleft tea. They actually bake it within this because the temperature is low enough. 这个是大概多少温度啊？温度大概是多少？
大概在这个65、70。
Okay. So they bake it around 65 to 70 degrees Celsius. This thing takes about an hour. So I'm once again at the village of Futi. Now I really like the environment of this place, even though this is not quite the area of the Gande area yet. But to be honest, even last time I didn't like the surrounding of Gande very much because they're building a highway there. Look how foggy it is. This is beautiful. And in this area, actually, same thing with the cliff tea. Because it's much colder here. It's actually much colder than even in Wuyi Mountain. I'm wearing a windbreaker. It's so the production of the tea Guan Yin is much later. They just started several days ago, and they'll continue for about 4 or 5 more days. Whereas the general Anxi area, it's pretty much already done several days ago already. And this is a batch of really good one.